I would now like to invite on stage Mr. Sudhir Chaudhary, Editor-in-Chief and CEO of WION, to deliver the welcome address.
He is the CEO and Editor-in-Chief of WION. Delivering the opening address is Mr. Sudhir Chaudhary.
Good morning, namaskar, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to WION's flagship summit. I shall start with a word of condolence to the people and the royal family of the UAE on the sad demise of President Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. He was a visionary and a reformer who leaves behind a rich legacy that will shape the future of this country and this region. And as we mourn his loss, we also want to take his mission of growth and peace forward. And that's why we decided to go ahead with our summit. And I'm very happy today to see your response and to see so many of you in person here this morning. Apart from WION's millions of viewers who are watching us live right now from across the world. But at the same time, I would also like to welcome all our dialogue partners who came here personally or who will be joining digitally from different parts of the world. This is the 4th edition of this summit, and this summit has been very close to my heart and my team's heart, because every year we have been fighting fate to keep our date with this forum, and it has been a very interesting journey so far. And I'll share three very interesting stories with you. We hosted the first WION Global Summit on 20th of February 2019. And we were in the final lap of preparation when we were shaken by Pulwama terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir, where we lost more than 40 Indian soldiers. It was the 14th of February 2019. And I remember the day very clearly, even today. It took us some time to digest the news. And just when we were coming to terms with it, we were reminded that we had a summit to host in Dubai in the next 7 days. 40 Indian soldiers were martyred. My country was sad. My country was very angry. Emotions were very high. Leaving India during this time of grief was a very hard decision for us. But we had an even harder decision to make. And that year we had some speakers joining us from Pakistan. Some of them were serving ministers, and they had confirmed their presence, and everything was planned, everything was booked. But hosting them in Dubai after a deadly terrorist attack on India would have been morally wrong. India broke all diplomatic ties with Pakistan that year, and we had to take a call. We decided to go ahead with the summit without the speakers from Pakistan, and we ended up hosting a very successful and much appreciated event, fortunately. Now look at the next year. In 2020, we were preparing for the 2nd edition of the summit in the same hall, same place, Dubai. We were pumped up by the previous year's success, and we wanted an even bigger event this time. And then suddenly, the news broke about an unknown virus in Wuhan. The virus was making people sick all over the world, and nothing was known except the fact that this virus was very dangerous and deadly. And as the date of the summit grew closer, the virus crossed Chinese borders and was spreading all over the world, including UAE, including this place. Shutdowns started happening everywhere in the world. The challenge before us was to have faith, to fight the fear of uncertainty, and go ahead with the summit, and that's what we did. 1 year passed, and the virus had not slowed down. By 2021, the world had learned to live with the pandemic, and we hosted a first of its kind hybrid global summit again in Dubai. Technology was a big challenge, but we overcame it. And by that time, it had become the new normal. People were working from home, and we were all having virtual meetings. The technology had completely changed everything. And then we opted for the spirit of conversation over the pandemic. We entered 2022, this year, with a lot of hope. We thought this year was supposed to be glitch-free, more or less pandemic-free. But then a war broke out in Ukraine. The uncertainty of the virus was replaced by the uncertainty of violence. I'm narrating these short stories to you today because in the last 4 years, we have fought 3 types of wars to keep this flag of conversation flying. First was terror, second was the coronavirus, and third was a military conflict, which is going on right now also. And each time, we have realized the potential of meaningful dialogue and mutual cooperation, which encourages us to once again endorse the basic theme of our channel WION, that the world is one. And we can overcome challenges only when we fight as one single unit, as one global team. We can win all wars by talking peace and talking peace sincerely. Ladies and gentlemen, I use that rider sincerely because peace is one of the most misused, misunderstood, and underrated words. In today's diplomatic world, peace has become a superficial word. An absence of war is called peace. An absence of noise is also called peace. An absence of rattling guns is also sometimes called peace. But it's not. I come from a land that values real peace. I come from the country of Gandhi, and a country where people have made the ultimate sacrifice for the sake of peace. Ladies and gentlemen, this news network called WION was born in the country of Buddha, who redefined himself and his world for peace. And today, under the leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India is taking this mission forward and acting as a true ambassador of peace. During the pandemic, India sent vaccines to the world, and during the war, India is pushing for dialogue instead of sanctions. As we deep dive into this deliberation, I hope the conversations we have in this summit today will help us understand conflict better and also define peace, the real peace. His Excellency Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan began his presidency with a message for the people of the UAE. He said, "You are the real wealth, not the 3 million barrels of oil. You are the future of this nation's security and safety net." And let me take this thought forward and say, you are the real ambassadors of peace. And I invite all of you to join WION's Mission Peace and give peace a chance. Thank you so much. Thank you.